Hey, Mike here. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Well, today we will be talking about creating infographics and not just creating infographics, but what you can do with them once you've got some created, because that's important too. Now, I'm going to be using Photoshop CC 2018. If you don't have Photoshop, you can use a thing called GIMP, G-I-M-P. It's at gimp.org, and you can do everything with GIMP that I do with Photoshop here today. So just keep that in mind. Okay, good. Well, let's get started right now. Click on the link in the description below this video and get my Tube Mastery Studio 10-part video series. It'll show you how to make better YouTube videos that can earn you more money. Well, I've created a folder here. It says Demo Folder, and I've put some images in here that I'm going to use in this example. And I just want to show you these before we start so you can see what they look like. This is a picture I took the last week of October in South Haven, Michigan. My girlfriend and I drove down there so we could watch the sunset. And like I said, the last week of October, the water temperature was about 55 degrees. That's why no one's on the beach, no one's swimming. But I've got that. I'm going to use this girl's image. We'll see her in a second. And then I have these different colored buttons, and we'll use those. Okay, I just wanted to show you what we're going to be working with. So I'll come down to Photoshop, and I'll open up a new document. And you can see I've set this up already at 1280 by 720 pixels. That's the right size for a, like a 16 by 9 format for YouTube. So I'll create a new document right here. Okay, I'll squeeze this down just a little bit so you can see it. And then I'll come up here and open something up. I think I'll start with the beach. That'll be my background, and I'll put that beach picture in there. Okay, and I'll move this a little. It won't let me move it right now, so I'll convert it to a normal file right there, image file. And that fits right in there, just the right size. You could resize your image if you needed to. But okay, so I have that. Now I'm going to come up to Layer, and I'm going to make a new layer, and I'll call this Girl. Okay, and just click on it, make sure that's the layer that I want there. And to do this the easy way, I'm just going to open up this demo thing, and I'm going to drag this girl right in here, and I am going to resize her a bit. I want her to show up something like about that big right there. Okay, so then what I'll do is get my pointer tool, place the file, I'll click on yes, and I'll place this file right there. Okay, now before I can play around with this girl's image, what I need to do is come to Layer and see where it says rasterize, or turn it into, I don't know, pixelated format or whatever. And I want to rasterize that layer. Okay, and then I'm going to come up here to my magic wand tool. There's a quick selection tool and a magic wand tool. I want the magic wand tool, and I'll just click anywhere on that. Okay, and I'll hit delete and see how it took all the white. I clicked on the white, I hit delete, and it took all the white out of there for me. Okay, so now I have this girl's image in there. Now I want to show you one thing, and I'm not going to play with this, but see, her shoulder got messed up just a little bit, and I could have set this at a different tolerance up there, and then it might not have taken that out. I could use my paintbrush and kind of fill this in, but for right now we're not going to do that. It's not critical to what we're doing. Okay, so click on my pointer tool, get that out of there. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to come back in here, and I want to take, doesn't matter, I'm going to take one of these little images here, and I'm going to place that in my Photoshop document. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze this out. I'm going to drag it out, and I'm going to move it up about that high right there. Okay, click on my pointer tool, and I'll place that file. So that is set there. Now, one thing you can do, okay, before I start adding text, one thing you can do, I'll just click on, see, whatever I click on, I can work in that layer, and this, I call this teal. One thing you can do is right here it says opacity right here, And if you don't have to do this, but a lot of times in infographics they have things that kind of shine through a little bit. And you can see I can play with this. And sometimes what I might do is change the opacity so a little bit of the sky shows through. It just makes it a little bit softer looking. And you know, you can do that if you want to. So that's playing with the opacity is something you might want to do. But then once I've got that in there, I'm going to take my text tool and put some text, make a text box here, and I'm just going to put in blog for right now. And I want to make that a little bigger. It says it's 80-point text right there. Let's try 95. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to move this, and I can't get it right in the center with my drag tool up there, but I can use the up and down arrows on my computer. See, I can make it go over and back, and you can tweak it a lot better. So I'm going to leave that in there. Okay, so once I've got that done, what I'm going to do is, rather than have you watch me put the other 5 items in here, I'm going to put them in, and then we'll come back and look at it. So give me just 1 second, and I'll do that. Okay, well, I'm back. So all I did, you know, you saw in the first part of the video, I added this graphic, this teal colored, turquoise colored little rectangle box, button box, and I typed blogs in there, okay? And so all I did in the minute or two that I was away, I added the other 4 graphics in here, and I typed some words in: webinars, pages, Facebook, emails, and so on. So here's why I did that. What I want to do is come down here and get my rectangle tool right here, and I'm going to come up and I'm actually going to start and make this go outside of my canvas area just a little bit, something like that, okay? And right now it's white, okay? It's got a white fill. And I'm going to come up here to the fill section. Here's the fill and the stroke section. And go to the fill, and I want to add some color. I don't want to add that color. Maybe this, or, okay, that one right there. I think I like that. It's just a little different. Okay, so I'm going to add that red fill, and then I'll come down and it'll look like this. And if I wanted to, let's just do it so that you can see what I mean. I'm going to come back over here where it says opacity, and now it's that solid burgundy color. But I think what I'm going to do is change the opacity just a little bit, so I let a little bit of that sunlight area, the sunlight, the sky, show through. So I've decreased the opacity. It says 65% over here right now. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'm going to come down and get my text tool, and we'll put some text. I'll make a text area right here, and I'm going to type in, whoops, 5. Let me move this down a little bit so we can see it right there. That looks about right. 5. Okay, let me get my text tool again. 5 places to put your infographics. And I'm going to leave it right there. Now, you know, if you need to make the text bigger or smaller, you can click on this text tool over here, and you know, you can make changes in there, or you could just come up here. It says it's 54-point type. You could make it 80-point, 20-point, whatever you want, but that fits pretty good the way that it is. So what have we got here? Well, we've got a very simple infographic with just, you know, 5 talking points here and a title. So like, what could you do with this? Well, exactly what I said on this infographic. You could put it on a blog, you know. If you've got a blog, you could make an infographic, put it on there. Certainly, you know, and you've done this too. You go to a webinar and you watch it, and somebody's got 5, 10, 15 minutes with one black and white text, PowerPoint text block in there, and it's like, please, you know, I'm going to fall asleep here. So you could use an infographic, create one, and put it on a PowerPoint slide, and you know, use it in your webinars. Great idea, great thing to do, and not many people do that. You know, whatever web page, it might be a sales page for a product or service, something that you've got. You could put it on there. If you just want to make an infographic and put it up on Facebook to demonstrate something or show like 5 ways to train your cat or whatever. And you could put it as an email attachment, send it out to your list subscribers just as something fun for them to look at and learn something from. So basically, this is how you can make an infographic. You could make it much more complicated than what I did, but I showed you the fundamental tools. I showed you how to use this magic wand tool up here to remove the background behind this girl, or remove the background from anything. And I showed you how to bring in graphics, like these boxes here, these radio button type boxes, and how to put some text in there. And I showed you how to use the opacity tool over here, so that you could let background color shine through, or background graphics shine through, blocks of color that you put in there. And basically that's what you do. So very best wishes for tremendous success with whatever project you're working on, and again, keep in touch.
Hey, it's Mike. Just 10 seconds. Hey, grab my 2 Mastery Studio training program. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost a penny. It's a 10-part video series. It shows you how to make better YouTube videos and how to monetize them from day one. Either go to tubemasterystudio.com or click on the link in the description below this video. Okay.